Superintendent, followed by the reading of the school board prayer, followed by the leading of the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Joshua Hebert, Vice President.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Mr. Meyer? Mrs. Barra?
Here.
Ms. Boutin? Mr. Hebert?
Here.
Mr. Washington?
Here.
Mrs. Hood?
Here.
Mrs. Arso? Mrs. Dugas? Here. Madam President, you have a quorum.
Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening with grateful hearts, thankful for the privilege of serving the children and families of Assumption Parish. As we enter the Thanksgiving season, remind us of the blessings you've placed upon us, our schools, our educators, and our community. Guide our conversation tonight with wisdom, unity, and compassion. Watch over every student, staff member, and household in our parish, and grant them safety, rest, and peace in the days ahead. May your presence fill this room and lead us in all we do. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To agenda A, adoption of the agenda. I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Washington, second by Mr. Hebert. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 3, consent agenda. We'll have B, the adoption of the resolution of sympathy for Ms. Evelyn Semino.
I'll read the resolution. Whereas we, the members of Assumption Parish School Board, have learned of the untimely death of Ms. Evelyn Semino, an outstanding employee and citizen of Assumption Parish. And whereas by her devotion and loyalty, she had come to be recognized as a most valuable asset to the Assumption Parish family of public educators. And whereas Mrs. Semino served Assumption Parish School Board for 24 years. And whereas her life was a record of service and devotion to children, community, and her family, her loss will be shared by all who cherish the education of the young, especially the young of Assumption Parish. Therefore, be it resolved that the Assumption Parish School Board deeply regrets the untimely loss of a true friend and servant to public education and offers her family our deepest sympathy in a time of grief. Be it further resolved that a copy of this expression of sympathy is presented to the family with our deepest condolences. We'd like the family to come forward. Ms. Evelyn served Assumption Parish for 24 years as a cafeteria tech.
Thank you all for showing appreciation to my mother. She would love to know that this was possible, but she can't. But we will, and it will always be in our minds. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
family. Thank you for allowing her to serve. Thank you.
So, Miss Evelyn, and myself, we've been like community neighbors for a better part of 3 decades. And our family got intertwined when her daughter married my nephew. And so that relationship grew even more back at that time. So you heard the superintendent talked about her years of service as a cafeteria worker. And I don't know if she got all her skills from working in a cafeteria or helping her mom raise a large family and stuff like that, you know. So whatever it was, you know, we really, really, truly appreciate it. I just want to take a few episodes from something that I saw in the obituary. It says, Evelyn was a person who loved to cook and feed the neighborhood, no matter who you are, where you're from. Everyone hungry or not, she fed them all, whether that was friend, family, or foe. And I can tell you now, she was there for everybody in the community. I recall one time, and after we became real good close friends and neighbors and family, so to speak, she make her birthday on March 10th of the year, and I'm birthday on August the 12th. So this past year, her and her sister, Nora, drove up to my house, and I didn't realize who it was in the car. So when I got out, she handed me a plate, and I can tell you the plate had smothered okra on it with shrimps and sausage on it, and she had sauteed down some chicken wings. So I didn't know what it was at first, but when I looked on the other side, the driver's side, that was Jesse and his sister, Miss Elnora. She was sitting behind the steering wheel. I said, I sure hope you don't go on the highway with that plate. So anyway, she was that type of person. You know, she was very, very loyal. You know, and anything that the community was given, she had to be a part of it. You know, so and I can tell you, you know. And Brother Jack could tell you this, whenever God gives us a talent, he expects us to go out and use it and bring back more than what you ran away with. And she truly, truly loved her talent, cooking, I'm telling you, and she was excellent at it. Paula, hang your head up, honey, it's good. You know it. God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you. I don't know her as well as Honoree. I never eat the food. I know the children because I watched them as they grew up. But she was a sweet person, and every time I see her, she had a smile, just a humble smile. And she just was an altogether quiet and sweet lady. And she raised some great children.
Yes.
We're going to continue to pray for y'all, and God will get y'all through.
Yes.
And so often we see, sometimes more often, that our support staff, like our cafeteria workers, are so important for the kids. And you could tell the beautiful family that allowed her to serve us in the district for so long. You know, just personally in middle school, the lunch ladies were my friends in middle school because that was my favorite part of the day. I was a fat kid, so you know,
Amen. I'm
you
with
know, I like
man.
lunch and breakfast and stuff. So, but so often we see that, you know, people in our support roles are those people that kids go to and they feel most comfortable with and form bonds and relationships with. And we thank you very much for allowing her to be a part of our children's lives for so long.
And it's good to see you.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
always.
Okay. A, approve minutes of November 5th, 2025, school board meeting and the adoption of the consent agenda. Moved by Ms. Dugas, second by Ms. Orso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 4, reports and recognition. A, receive administrative personnel report. We all have that copy in our folders. B, AHS 7th and 8th grade academy report. Ms. Christina Diaz.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Christina is going to come up. She's going to give us just a quick report on our 7th and 8th grade academy. I asked her to come forward to share some of the things that they're doing and also kind of like just educate all of us kind of like where they are right now. Now, please understand that we're taking notes throughout the year. So her and her team is going to meet again when it's time to plan for next year. But right now, it's a lot of small, minor adjustments, but also she's taking a lot of notes to make adjustments for next year. Ms. Tina?
All right, hello. Just when planning for our 7th and 8th graders to come to the academy, we started off with 7th graders all in the hallway to the side of the student parking lot, and our 8th graders are on the side of the building closest to the football stadium. When school started, everybody was switching classes at the same time, and so 8th and 7th were crossing paths. Recently, we changed the traffic flow of the building. Seventh grade exits and enters through the doors closest to the student parking lot, and eighth graders enter and exit through the doors closest to the stadium. So that alleviates a congestion of traffic in the hallway when children are switching classes. We do have 2 content teachers who are in the ROTC building currently, and when we are able to get into the A hall, we're going to move 3 elective teachers into the A hall, which will alleviate congestion in the main building, not the main building, in the academy building, because currently we have to have some teachers that go into other teachers' classrooms to teach when those teachers are on their planning period. So there's extra kids in the hallway right now, but eventually that's going to be taken care of once we move to the A hall. In the ROTC building, we do have our SRO officer who is housed there, and the administrative offices are in the N building, which is the academy building. That allows us to better serve teachers, students, monitor transitions, assist with any instructions that's needed, because we're in close proximity to the majority of our kids that are on the N building most of the day. We do have a plan in the event of a rainy day and eighth graders can't go outside to transition. We would allow the seventh graders to transition first, make sure they're in their rooms, and then eighth graders would be able to transition through the hallway after that. Anything else?
Do y'all plan on moving any regular classes into the building? There's a lot of overcrowding.
Once we move the elective classes into the A hall, that alleviates a lot, that probably alleviates about 4 or 5 classes of kids in the building. First and second period ELA classes are blocked, so the only transition in between first period is our social studies and science classes. When we transition to third, it's a little more congested. However, with seventh staying on one side and eighth staying on the other side, the congestion really has lessened. Like, I wouldn't even say it's congestion, because everybody kind of knows their place. And then the other time where everybody is transitioning is after sixth period. But again, with eighth grade staying on their side and seventh staying on theirs, we don't have the amount of congestion that we had at the beginning of the year. And, you know, it was a learning process, and we're making adjustments as we go. But I can say that everything is falling into place, and everybody's adjusting, and we're learning everybody. And yes. The staffing, as far as some of our classes are a little larger right now than we would have liked, but hopefully next year we can look at scheduling, and so that our classes won't be as large with changing the way we do electives.
So do we just have one SRO officer on campus, or we have one at the academy?
There's 2. There's
Oh,
one
yeah?
that stays with 7th and 8th grade, and then
Right.
Officer Parker is on the 9th through 12th grade
Okay,
side.
all right, good.
She's coming back, yes. She should be coming back shortly.
Okay,
Officer Parker comes over and checks in on us, and Officer Dominique, when she's passing through, she'll stop by and talk to the kids. So we do have some presence on campus.
okay, good.
So has the change in the flow of traffic minimized the discipline issues?
It has, and to be honest, our discipline issues really don't take place in the hallways. Kids, they have 2 minutes to get from one place to the next, so they really don't have time to mingle in the hallway, or they get to where they need to go because they only have 2 minutes to get there.
Okay.
All right.
Discipline ever been applied?
We've had our discipline issues, but I truly feel we are learning each other. Children are building relationships with each other. Children are building relationships with teachers. They're building relationships with the administration. At the beginning of the year, probably a third of the kids knew who their administrators were because they came from Napoleonville. But I truly feel like now we have kids from all communities that come and talk to us. So we've built that relationship. They feel comfortable coming and sharing their concerns, and we work everything out and we talk it out.
From one of the charts we got, it looks like a lot, the minor infractions had increased and the more serious one had decreased. So it looks like y'all are kind of getting them assimilated and catching, you're getting more minors, but the more serious offenses are kind of getting a little lower and you're getting there. They're getting
Yes,
in
the
the groove.
majority of our referrals are for the minor things taking place in class.
Yeah, which is good. It's good
Well,
to see that
and I
trend.
think it's important to know that when you going into a new environment, you're learning.
That's why.
Just like every classroom, every teacher, when I go to a certain teacher, that teacher has certain expectations. And if I'm coming from a situation where the expectations were not there, so I need to understand, hey, this is how we do school here. So I think you're going to see more and more of the minor referrals diminish because kids are now going to get more and more acclimated to the expectations of what we're doing here. And also, I want to also commend the board because I want to say last week, last board meeting or the meeting before that, we really gave more authority from a discipline standpoint to our administrators to curb any discipline issues on the campuses. So I'm really excited about that and excited about the work that they're doing right now.
And I can say our referral count has dropped significantly from September to now. So there has been an improvement in behavior.
Yep.
We've enrolled, just last week, we enrolled 3 8th graders. So we haven't really been losing many. We've been getting some here and there, but just in 1 week, we enrolled 3 kids.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. We appreciate y'all sticking to discipline and making sure that it's followed through. And you and I have a personal thing on that, but we appreciate that everybody is equal board and that it's being followed through and we're not really being lenient. We gave y'all the leeway to do it. Thank y'all very much for tackling it.
Absolutely. I know y'all doing a phenomenal job. I've heard nothing but good things. I know that we've worked out some quirks and stuff like that, but I think with what y'all have been given and where the kids are, I think y'all doing a great job. From a kid standpoint, I've been present on campus. I've been kind of asking a few things, asking kids, and I don't see where there's issues. I think kids are finding friends, and that's a good thing. They're really excited about sports. I heard that our soccer team did great the other night. But I just want to say congratulations, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Ms. Tina, just for you and as well as Dr. Crochet, but if you need anything, please don't hesitate to give my office a call. Thank you.
C, AHS 9th through 12th grade transition report. Dr. Crochet?
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
All right. So start off, we've already transitioned ROTC, Stuco, and we had a computer class back into the main building. What we have scheduled now, upstairs rooms are all clean. They're all ready to go. We're waiting on furniture. Furniture in terms of student desks, we need a couple of teacher desks and things like that. That is scheduled to be moved in over Thanksgiving. And immediately after Thanksgiving, we're going to use those upstairs classrooms for some testing areas. And then during Christmas, we'll make the final transition, moving those teachers out of the A hall back upstairs. And then that'll allow Ms. Tina to get her teachers back into the A hall, however she wants to do it. So we didn't want to move too fast in terms of upsetting students and teachers right before testing. We wanted to maximize, keep them calm, keep them ready. We don't take no chances, but so that's where we at with it, and I think it's gonna work.
Good.
That's it. Thank you all.
And also just like to let everybody know, tonight we are voting to close out that project in 2 stories. So we were under substantial completion. The good news is received information late the other day saying that we're now ready to close that project out. We did the last and final walkthrough earlier this week, so everything is ready to close out. And we're going to vote on that tonight.
I do want to give a good job to Dr. Crochet and his staff. The flow of traffic in the morning and the evenings has gotten a lot better. Everything is going really well. There's not any issues in the morning that I see. I get to do it every day. So I just want to commend you and your team, even through the hallways and stuff like that, because I really feel like not only 7th and 8th is doing a great job, but 9th through 12th, and it's working. So I appreciate everybody. And I just wanted to say that. Okay. 5, policy and procedure. We have nothing under that, so we will move on to budget. A, receive first quarter financial update, and that will be from Ms. Lauren Sherman.
All right, good evening. Thank you for having me. So in your packets, we have the first quarter budget to actual report. Your first column, you will see the proposed and the approved budget in full for the year 2026. And next to it, you'll have your actuals for the first quarter. I included a percentage comparison column, and then you see your remaining budget. Again, I have on here our target point is 25%. That's just because we're in the first quarter of the year. And so you can look at this and look at each category and kind of gauge how we're doing. Overall, we're doing really well. I'll point out in our revenue, your local sources is a little low right now, and that's because your property taxes are slow right now, and they'll all come in January. So by that report, you're going to see a big influx there in the percentages. We also are a little high right now in our MFP dollars, and that is including the certified and support stipend that the state gave you, and you are actually paying that out this month in December. And Jessica's going to go over those numbers with you next. Our expenses are following, and as you can see, they are all really within range. You might have a little bit of influx in some categories, such as general admin. That's normally normal in the beginning of any school year. You're going to buy a whole lot of materials in the beginning, and then it's going to even out throughout the next quarter. You will see, I will point out, the central services is up, and you see that is at 141%. That is the recruitment and placement stipends that were approved when this budget actually was approved. So we will do an amendment for that later on in the year. You don't have to do it now, but we will amend that later on whenever we look at the new budget for next year. So overall, your revenues are targeting around 20%, and your expenditures are targeting around 22% with that influx for your recruitment and replacement stipends. Yeah. Any questions? No. All right, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. B, receive information on state-approved stipend. Ms. Jessica?
Good evening. Like Ms. Lauren said, we did receive the money from the LDOE, from the MFP, for the certificated and support stipend. In your packet, you have the amount we received total for certificated was $585.60. The support staff amount we received was $226,920 for a total of $807,480. As a district, we pay all of our full-time employees. The state does not actually recognize, they only recognize certain pay codes. So we pay all of our full-time employees, so the cost is a little bit different. The difference for certificated, it is $609,062, which is a difference of $28,502. But for support, it's actually a little less because we have some changes. So that's $218,239, which is less money than we received. And the total difference is $19,821. That is going to cost the board above what we received. We had originally projected about $30,000, but once we got the clean cut of the amount that's actually going to be issued on their checks on the November payroll, which is November 20th, I got the clean numbers this afternoon at 2 something. So this is the actual clean updated numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess.
You want to, you're fine, but I just want to be clear. Some of the employees that we're talking about, like your Head Start employees, things where we don't actually receive funding for those employees from the state. So the state is only giving us money based on certain codes, and within those codes, an example would be our Head Start employees don't qualify.
Like a teacher's a 112, but an early childhood is another number. So certain early childhood employees would not be getting this stipend, but we don't feel that they shouldn't receive the stipend, so we add them into the stipend. Dr. B is very gracious to make sure that everyone gets, if they're a full-time employee, they're getting the supplement.
Yep.
And one of the reasons the support, in the support shift, I can tell you, is because some of these people who were in support roles have taken on teacher roles. So they went from the 1,000 category to the 2,000 category, which also is a reason that we have a little extra in support. It's not much. I mean, you think about it, it's 8.5 stipends. But that is one of the reasons we may have some vacancies. So that could be another reason. And even our people on extended medical, they get the percentage of the pay they're getting, they get the percentage of the stipend. Any other questions?
Thank you, Judge.
D, receive October 2025 sales and use tax report.
Thank you, ma'am. Total receipts, collection for October 2025, $1,714,411.14, which is an increase of $316,773.94, which is a change of 23%. Less audits, 29.99%. Total OMV audits change, 21%. The school board received $851,767.07, which is an increase from last October of $158,280.79, which is an increase of 23%. 92 bond fund, $353.57, an increase of $31,641.76. And you can see we had increase in almost everything except food. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. B. D, authorize the superintendent to hire an additional custodian to be placed at the 7th and 8th grade academy. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Dugas and second by Ms. Barris. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. D, receive report on OBC allocation for air reading high dosage tutoring for first grade.
This is great news. I know Ms. Barrett, she talked, I want to say, last board meeting about, can we get some support for our first graders, the air rated? So Ms. Rachel actually went ahead and found some extra funding, and now we can offer to some of the students who are behind in our reading to help those kids receive additional support. You want to kind of explain a little bit more, Ms. Rachel?
Sure. It was actually in the works when I presented, but I didn't feel like I should be announcing something that we hadn't actually received yet. So there's a new initiative at the State Department called outcome-based contracts, where the State Department is only going to grant funding to vendors that have proven themselves. So basically, the vendor doesn't get paid if the kids don't grow, to oversimplify it. So Air Reading has a great track record of showing student growth. So it was really easy for us to say, hey, we want to participate and we would like to use Air Reading. So I've been on calls and participating in some webinars for a couple of months now, getting this going. And I am very happy to report that we were awarded $77,807.
Awesome.
Cool.
Congratulations.
That's all right.
And so we'll work on this with our first graders. However, the money won't be awarded, but it's okay after January, which will be after winter benchmarking anyway. So it's a good time. And then if we see that there are any additional funds that won't be used by those children, the principals have requested that we then go target our 4th and 5th graders that still qualify for high dosage tutoring, but don't have, it's like everybody wants Air Reading, you know? So we're gonna try to stretch it as much as we can to help as many children as we can.
Awesome.
It's
All
wonderful.
right, thank you.
We should see a change between the winter benchmark and EOY benchmark.
Or they won't get paid.
There you go.
On 7, facilities and grounds. A, approve certificate of substantial completion for the project known as Pierrepont Elementary French Hall HVAC replacement. I need a motion. Moved by Ms. Dugas and second by Ms. Urso. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. B, receive update on current projects.
We're gonna have Mr. Dwayne come up, just a quick overview of where we are right now with our projects. It's not gonna be too long. We just wanted to make sure we bring some information to the board as far as our projects.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This morning, we had our pre-construction meeting for Bayou Lewis Security Project. That project should be starting with full reconstruction, the beginning of December. We having a mandatory pre-bid meeting December 2nd. The bid openings for Pierrepont Elementary, those bid openings should be on December 10th. We're expecting to bring that back to the board on December 17th for approval to start that project. LMS security project still in design. We should have that for approval to go out to bid on December 17th as well. Libertyville Middle Sewer Plant, we had that pre-construction meeting this morning with Sage Construction. That project is going to be a 6-month project because of the time frame. So once the project was awarded, the contractor get ordered the plant that's approved by the engineer. So he's presented his submittals. His submittals were approved. So now he has to order the sewer plant. That's why it's a 6-month project. So I just want to be clear on why it's going to take so long. Is because we have to wait for the plant to be built as designed. Because, I mean, the contractor's not going to order a plant until then. So, and we have to have it approved by the engineer. So we're expecting to have that project wrapped up by May. So if you don't see a lot going on with it, we're not going to remove the old plant until the new plant is in, because we don't want to have a hole in the ground and taking a fence down, and then we got a lot of liability there with no one being there to, you know, monitor the site or whatever. So we're going to do it when it comes in. We're going to start the whole project at one time.
Good.
So he has a notice to proceed so he can get his equipment and everything coming. The 2-story project, as Mr. B said, we did a walkthrough earlier this week. Myself, Joseph, and the contractor, we looked over everything. Some of the issues we had were corrected. Every issue was corrected, I'm sorry. And then there was a little cleanup that he had to do while we were there. He was picking up a few little odds and ends just to finish things off. But that project is finished. The door project, we still have some doors that have issues that we're waiting on. That was a change order for some doors to be changed. Still waiting on that. The painting project, we did a walkthrough. I sent pictures to Dr. Bartholomew. There's some issues we have with that. Waiting on those to be corrected so I can revisit that. The welding shop project, the grounding of the welding shop, expecting to get on that after the Thanksgiving break to get the 3 quotes and present it to you all to get the welding shop taken care of. The tennis courts, they're currently working on them. They're chasing cracks. And what that means is that every crack in the surface, they're cutting them out, they're grinding them, and they're refilling them with an epoxy. And then they're going to resurface them. The fence was done. That project was supposed to be finished December 24th. It looks like it's going to go a little further. The courts will be done when we come back from Christmas. The problem we have right now is that the lead time on the poles is a little longer than we expected. So we won't have the lighting right when we come back, but the courts will be finished.
Okay.
So they may not have a night game or anything at that time, but, and they don't have lights now, but I mean, once we get all the poles in place, I mean, it's not a big issue to put them back up. And the welding shop, the outdoor area in the back of the welding shop, that is completed. The only thing I have left to do, they requested a gate. So when the materials come in, the materials can come into one area so they can unload, and then the scrap materials can have a different gate to go in and out of, which pushes everything to one side. So the new area that we built for them is not cluttered, and they got a safe place to work behind the buildings.
Good deal.
Any questions?
No, sir.
I think so.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. C, approve deduct change order for the project known as Assumption High School Building A Wall Rehabilitation.
No document on that.
Good evening.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, as Dwayne reported, we did a closeout walkthrough. One of the things that was noted on the previous punch list was a secondary insulative wrap layer that was not put. It wasn't required, it is required by the plans, but it wasn't required for insulation purposes. There is a primary layer there. So rather than have him go through extensive things to get that put in, the school board, the recommendation from us was to get a credit for that secondary layer, and that's what the contractor offered, and so that's what we are recommending. The amount of that credit is $2,891.84, and then once that, should you all approve that, that would close this project out.
Is there a benefit for that other layer that we're not going to realize, or?
It really came into play when, if you all recall, we changed the windows. So putting the new windows and having that primary layer sealed to that window really kind of fixed that issue. The secondary layer was to come around and wrap to the old windows and so forth. So while it is an extra layer, it is not required by code or any other reason. So at this point, that's why we're saying the single layer with a credit is acceptable.
Okay. Y'all talk, that's acceptable, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
I just want to say thank you, Joseph. I appreciate closing out this project. I know we have other projects that we're working on.
Yes,
but,
sir.
I want to say thank you for that and all the work that went into it, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion.
So move.
First by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 8, comments and/or announcements by board members, administrators? No? We good? Okay. I need a motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Mr. Aber, second by Ms.